Welcome to the 411 podcast. My name is Anaz Jones, at name __ Nas.J. Podcast name at 411.podcast.
My name is Serenity. My Instagram name is Be Like Rennie, BeLikeReni.
I'm Crystal. My ad name is Crystal Millie with 2 E's.
My name is Ryan Jones, at name RK.DJ. I mean, I've been here. Y'all know what it is.
And on Duran, at name on Instagram is RICH.203.
Okay, first topic we're going to talk about is family pressure. So with the first question, I'll answer first, but the first question is, what do you define as family pressure? And I feel like family pressure to me would be mostly not being able to make your own decisions and live your own life to the way how you want to live it, and that's just being forceful on certain decisions that you want to make. Because I feel like with certain parents, they won't allow you to make mistakes. So basically, the pressure of them not wanting you to make the same mistakes they have is more so why I believe that family pressure is like happening or causing, just because you're a parent or like a elder doesn't want you to make the same mistake as they did.
I think family pressure is sort of like how Nas said. I think it's kind of like a standard that like your parents set for you. Like they envision like what they feel like your life should be, and so they kind of force those, like not force those, but like
values. Put those values in your head.
Yeah, they find to like implement what they've been taught, and they kind of pass it down to you. So it's like traditionally, like not to be stereotypical, but like how in Asian households, like they're like just like either doctors, lawyers. There's sort of like those things. There's like those pressures. I don't mean to use the pressures, but like there's sort of like those expectations that they have because that's what they're known for. They're known for being these things, and white people or like black people are known for being like other things, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a generational like passed down to like generational ideas, if I should say, that sort of like is implemented onto like today's children or other people, I should say. So it's kind of like ideas and values that have been passed down. That's how I look at it. Like.
Who's next?
I guess I'll go. Let me see. I agree with both of these guys. It's kind of like, it could even not just occupation or college-wise. It could be from the streets. Like, let's say you go up in a family that's street-bound or whatever situation may be, and you got uncles or cousins or whatever pushing you towards that lifestyle, and that could be another family pressure. So it's just multiple factors and everything. So I agree with what they were saying. That's all I had to say.
I honestly agree with everyone. I think it's more so a generational implant. So I feel like it's more so just you're going to do this, you're going to do that, more than you, like Ina said, you don't really have the time to even figure out what you want to do for yourself or how you want to live, because I can't mess up, I got to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I agree with everybody.
So basically, the next question would be: is everybody here first generation college students?
Yeah,
No.
Nah,
I am.
You're not. Who went?
my mom.
You are.
Yeah.
I am.
As far as all the men in my family, none of them even graduated. Most of them didn't graduate high school.
You said your mom.
Can't
My sister.
Your sister. So, with your mom going to college, right? Did she like pressure you like go to college, or was it just like live how you want to live, or was it like you don't have a choice but to go?
All right, for me, I ain't gonna cap. Like for me, I come from like I got a West Indian background, so it's like they're more so focused on like education, like this and that. They like hammer that into your head, and so like my mom, when she moved from Grenada to the United States, for like she had to take care of us, me and my brother, hold the family down. But like when everything was kind of like situated, we were all in school. She decided that she wanted to go back to school because she wanted to further her education. She wanted a new opportunity, new outlook on life. Because being an immigrant, it's not really much that you could do without having some sort of certification that could qualify you for whatever various jobs or like various outlooks out there. So seeing that she ended up going to Southern. She graduated with a bachelor's, and she's going back to pursue her master's. And so even when I was in high school, like I used to always tell her like I didn't really want to go to school. I hated college. Like I didn't want to go to college at all because I felt like college wasn't for me because I felt like college didn't really give me the outlook on life that I felt like I really wanted for myself. But she always kind of like pressured me into going to college. She was kind of like, oh, well, I mean, like, kind of like essentially since I did it, then like you got to do it in a sense. And it's kind of like, it's not really fair, but it's like, damn, like that's my mom. So it's like, I don't really want to, disappoint her. So I was like, but at the same time, I can't really say I don't like college if I've never really experienced it.
That's true.
So I went there for the year. For me, I went there for the year. And I'm not going to lie, like, living on campus, it's an experience. I'm not
We
even
had
gonna
a
lie.
ball.
It's like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's so fun. But outside of like the social aspects of college, like the academic portion just wasn't for me. Like I'm not a school person. I feel like school hinders what I want to do with my life. And I feel like I don't like being in an area where there's too many restrictions on myself. I like to be able to think freely, have the opportunity to do what I want to do, and then with the opportunities that I do have, I can fulfill whatever goals and accomplishments that I do have that I want to fulfill. So it's kind of like having my mom sort of like in my ear telling me to go to school and me in the back of my mind knowing that I really didn't want to go to school. It kind of created like a conflict in a sense.
Mhm.
But, I don't go back to school now, but I'm still doing like what I would love to do right now. And I feel like I'm the happiest that I've ever been since I made that decision and not go back to school. So I feel like it's kind of like, not to really ramble about it, but it's, you really got to take your own situation to your own hand. You can't really let people or let other, outside factors pressure you into what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, your life is your life and your happiness is your happiness. Nobody else's happiness is your happiness. So you always got to do what's best for you and see what fits for you. That's how I look at it.
To build on that, so basically everybody, my mother, she went back to school because I think your mom and my mom, they both went to Southern. But as far as the men in my family, none of them really even passed high school because most of them was just being knuckleheads and doing whatever they wanted to do, street shit or whatever situation may be. So what influenced me was being that first person in my family, first male in my family to actually graduate college. And even when I graduated high school, I put my what was it called?
Cap.
The cap.
Yeah.
I put all their names on my cap. So basically, they kind of graduated with me in high school, and I'm gonna keep that journey. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna bring them with me. That's what influenced me. But the women in my family, they have been carrying the torch, like most women, most black women in our families. But it's up to me. I'm carrying a lot, and it gets strenuous sometimes and heavy to bear that shoulder or carry that load of being the only male in your family, mostly to be that
Go that
success-
far.
yeah,
And
to go that far ahead.
with that, right? When you feel like, how sometimes in college, especially like when it's a final or you got midterms and you studying, do you think like, oh, I want to give up or I don't want to study? Then you think about
Yeah.
being the only male. Do you does that
Can't-
push you? Does
yeah,
that push
like,
you to like?
You can't, honestly, you can't quit because if you quit, it's like everybody's looking at me to be that success story.
Right.
So it's like, if you quit, you just let down everybody. And then they're going to be looking at you like, oh, he could have did this, he could have did that, this, that, and the third.
But he didn't.
But
Yeah.
he didn't. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I want to make it for me. I want to be successful for me. But at the same time, I'm really doing it for my family, especially the men in my family. Because we got to
Okay.
get it together.
All right. So I take back saying that I was the first generation. My grandmother just actually graduated 2 years ago, and she's a registered nurse, and she's in school right now. But when I said that I'm the first generation, I mean from like the people in my house. So like my mom didn't go, my dad didn't go.
So your immediate family.
So my immediate
Yeah,
family,
yeah,
no.
okay,
But
okay,
my
gotcha.
grandmother is the only person in my family that graduated college, I think, from my knowledge.
And
So I just
then,
wanted to correct that.
I'll go. With that, my brother went to college. He went to Georgetown, and then with that being said, Georgetown is like top. It's like a mini Ivy
Yeah.
League school.
Mm.
So like, me personally, it wasn't so much pressure because he was telling me personally like, don't feel pressure because at the end of the day, it's still your life. But then it was like the sports. I feel like I was more pressured in sports rather than school, cause the school part it became easy like after a while. Cause then I realized once you like show up for school, raise your hand, do work, you get like a C at the least. So you get a C at the least, and then you do homework, you turn in all your assignments, that's a B. Then you pass and turn in all your assignments, that's an A.
Yeah.
So now it's like
You got that part figured out.
Yeah, that part was easy. So the sports part was just more so pressure because it was more so I wasn't more so like trying to be better than him, but I was in a certain extent just because he went to Georgetown on the scholarship that he went on because it was fully paid for. So it was more so me trying to catch up. But then as time went on, I realized I was more so hurting myself trying to catch up to him. So I had to start worrying about myself and how be my own person. So that's how I ended up at Amistad. So me going to Amistad, it was more so because like he went to Cross. So me going to Amistad, it was supposed to be like a different route, but I transferred. So long story short, me transferring, I went to New Haven Academy, but I ended up playing for Cross just because it wasn't just more so the sports aspect. It was more so like the exposure part. Amistad wasn't really doing that for me.
And coaches and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that. But feel me? Yeah, just I want to say I was more so like pressured or anything like or influenced. But I feel like out of anybody that influenced me, it was either my mom and my brother to just go to college and just you don't have to do sports. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to last long. So you got to choose a career path somehow, some way.
Right.
And then that's all the athletes out there that's watching this. Like, I know all y'all want to go D1, but at the end of the day, not everybody's going to go D1.
Yeah, there's thousands
like,
of people with the same
like, bro,
Only
y'all
like
got to
sports
have, like,
brand.
y'all got to have, like,
A background.
y'all got to have
I mean,
different,
plan B.
a plan B. I'm not saying, like, I'm saying personally, I had a plan B. Like, I'm going in thinking, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But at the end of the day, like, y'all gotta come to reality. I'm just talking y'all, like, from experience, like, young, who going into high school or, like, in college now. Like, just
Sound good.
it sound good when the coaches talk to you, but when time keep going and you don't get no calls, and then you thinking, now you getting
4 years
D3s,
later.
D3s, D2s, and no D1s.
Listen,
Just take the
take
D2
your
and
D3
D3.
or take
I'm
your
telling you. Because at the end of the
NIL
day,
or whatever situation.
you could always transfer out
Exactly.
from the D2
If you
and
good,
D3 if
you
you're good
they're
enough
gonna
and you got
find
film.
anyway, honestly.
They're going to find you regardless. But I'm just letting y'all know from experience, there's nothing wrong with going D2 and D3 and transferring out. But don't try to settle for just D1.
Only 1% get.
Because at the end of the day,
scholarship.
especially in New Haven, we don't get
Enough-
a lot exposure. So
it might not even be that you're not good. It's just
the exposure is not there.
You gotta
So like,
realize that,
as in general, like
as it
it's
go,
not there.
a lot of these people send their kids up to be Division I athletes. So from about, let's say 5 to 10, they got them in all the programs, got them in all in gym, not outside, in gyms with their skills trainers, paying all this money, this, that, and the third. So
Paying
really,
all
at
that
this point,
money.
it's to the point where you gotta have money to get to a certain place
That's true.
in any sports.
Money
Because if
rule
you
the
don't
world.
have the money, not even just genetics, because if you look at your mom, his dad put him in every single thing. Not
That's
saying
true, too.
Every single thing he put money into that kid. If you want to, it's just got.
But
it's
that's
money
pressure
thing.
too, though. He
It's
had a
money
lot
thing.
of pressure
Yeah,
on him.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's where it connects to. Just you wanting to be D1, you putting pressure on yourself. Then you telling your family, so your family putting pressure on you. Yo, let me get tickets. Yo, when you make it, let me get tickets. I just want some tickets. Yo, let me get tickets. Yo,
Because,
I
like,
want some
you
tickets.
know when you
like,
make it, you
And
want
they're
to bring
not even putting the
everybody
money in
with
to
you.
help you.
like
get
they're
there.
not
Right.
they're not
But you
helping you.
can't bring
So
everybody
I'm just
with you.
talking to all the young athletes that want to like
Put in the work. Listen,
put in the
also
work.
put in
I'm
the
not
work, too.
saying that it's not possible. I'm not like you could be that 1% that make it, do you? But I'm just saying like as in general, like I'm like heart to heart, like
Just always have a plan B.
just have a plan. Like
And
I'm not
Always.
saying rely on a plan B, but just have a plan B because the sports that like if it's hockey, yeah, hockey don't last. Golf you probably could last.
Physical sports.
The physical sports is kind of
Even-
it's tough.
It's a
even if
win.
you-
It's a
Even if you go
win-win.
Division 1, about less than 1% of people that go to
Yeah,
even make the league.
Because even
You
with
go
the league,
overseas,
About basketball.
but that don't last
Right.
that long.
even with the
So
league,
it's
like
just like
just
bottom
don't
line
feel
is,
pressure.
if you get injured, your body's gonna give out on you. So what do you have in your head?
Yeah, you got about
What's
a
in your
good 10
mind?
years.
Yeah, just
What
don't
can you do?
just don't
What
feel
can you
pressure.
do besides putting a ball through a hoop or throw a football or catch
That's
a football
true.
or this, that, and the third?
Not
What can you do?
scamming. Wait, but
Because
what
when
I
it's
want
all
to
said
say.
and done, you only got a body. Your body can do but so much.
That's true. But what I want to say before I answer the question is, even if you go to a D2, D3 school and you're playing basketball, still have that plan B and major and minor in that instead of just relying on basketball. So if in case it does not fall through, you still have that. You already been doing that route. Anyways, so like I said, my mom and my dad didn't go to college. So in my head, my mom really cared about education. She had me when she was 16 years old. So she really cared about education because she didn't want me to go down the route that she did. So straight A student, not getting in trouble. I mean, I still did mess up, but for the most part, my grades were always really good. She always told me and my little brother that if we don't go to college, we better have a job, something going on. But for me, I felt like she would always just throw the idea of college out at me. It was always, oh yeah, you're
Just
gonna
to
be
see
a doctor.
your reaction.
I don't feel like it was to see my reaction. She
Okay.
would tell me I'm gonna be a doctor.
All right.
So now in my head, now I'm in school, a biology major to be a doctor. So she did pressure me in a way, but at the same time, she did throw out other options. But I do feel like it was because of she just didn't want me to go down the route of having kids at a young age.
Right.
I mean, she's doing good now, but she still had us at a young age.
She just like
She don't want you to struggle.
the
like she
struggle,
did.
like
Yeah,
the
to
struggle,
go
the
through
struggle
the
is
same thing she
crazy.
went through.
'Cause it's just like she know what she been through, so she like I'm gonna raise my kid like
Right.
so she won't, so she can have it easier than I did.
Right.
That's what my mom be trying to say. Cause I'm not the first year gen ed school. My sister went to college. She went to Central actually,
Okay.
and she graduated. Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like I wasn't pressured into going to school. I feel like that was just like I've always liked school ever since I was younger. So that was just something that I just wanted to do. I really can't do nothing else other than go to school for what I want to do. So it's like that's all.
I also want to say that I realized that I didn't even really like school once I got to high school. I liked being around people and talking to people. So then now that I'm in college, well, my first semester, we were online. So I really was sitting there like, this not even
So you never
for
really
me.
got to
No,
experience.
I'm
So
on,
you're not even doing it.
I'm on campus now.
But nah, you
Nah,
didn't.
you ain't experienced
Nah.
campus. Nah.
Nah,
on
nah.
campus,
Yeah,
but
you
you
on
on
campus, but you
Oh,
ain't
don't
on
do
campus.
that. Don't make me feel bad. But
Nah,
that's the
telling
thing.
you.
Nah, that old campus
That
different.
old campus different.
That's
Like,
social life.
Before the
Crazy.
pre-COVID.
But they're saying that next semester we're gonna be back regular.
Doubt
They
it.
ain't gonna never be the
No,
same.
It ain't never gonna be the same.
Don't do that because I'm about to just drop out then. Don't do
Don't
that.
drop
Nah, don't drop off though. I ain't saying
Listen,
jump off.
listen, this is why this is what people have to learn. Don't go to college for experience.
I
Yeah.
didn't though.
Go to college to get your education. Because
Yeah.
social life always gonna be there. Get your 4 years, get done, and then you could go live your life.
What they
after.
don't
That's
teach
true.
you in college is the networking process.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
gotta-
Like, if you
college is
see
all about
somebody-
networking. You always gotta-
Gotta talk to
Networking
him.
is that's
Yeah,
your
But
best
that's
friend.
what I was trying to explain though. I don't think I went to school for the experience.
Yeah, that's good.
I thought that I really wanted to. Well, I do want to be a doctor. Let me say that before my mom watch it. I do want to be a doctor. But I expected college to be totally different. And then I realized that this whole time I thought I liked school. I thought I liked doing work. I thought I liked going to school. But in all reality, excuse me, in all reality,
You
I
hate
didn't
college.
really care for school. I just
Exactly.
liked being around people.
Then you think about it like you want to be a doctor. Like everybody has like a goal, so that I don't really think school pushes you. I feel like your goal that you gotta achieve
Yeah.
pushes you to do the work, do the finance. Because at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control.
Right.
So you want to be a doctor. That's probably what's pushing you,
Yeah.
and so that's probably what it is.
Now it's me
Yeah, 'cause
pushing
it
me
ain't no
because
handholding in
Yeah, 'cause
college.
I already
What?
started. I already been paying. Well, I got a scholarship, so I'm gonna take that back. But I've already been in school. I've already been buying the books and stuff. So it's like now I gotta go through with it. So now it's not even family pressure on me no more. It's me
Yeah.
Your
because
own
it's
pressure,
like
yeah.
I can't mess this up.
Yeah.
Because what do I have to fall back on?
Right.
That's the problem.
That's literally
so we're
what it
talking
is.
about
It's like,
basketball
it's no
players.
plan
should always,
B.
basketball players should always have a plan B.
But I don't
But
got
I
no
don't have a
plan
plan
B.
B. I don't mind working regular jobs.
I
but
do.
the way I am, I'm lazy. I want to get this 10 years out so I could be sitting around writing prescriptions, not
Right.
doing nothing. So that's really my motivation now. It's not really family pressure anymore.
Yeah.
Anything else? You might ask me something.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
All right, so.
Oh God.
So we're gonna talk about 97%, and then so basically just
Wait,
just to sum it up, I'm gonna let y'all know what it is.
wait, you gotta redo it because we're laughing. All right, redo it.
It's not redone. You can't stop the camera. It's just gonna be up there. So,
All right.
all right. So
We're not laughing about the topic.
All right. So the topic is like it's basically sexual harassment, basically. Seriously.
And sexual assault.
Sexual assault. So Looking it up, it says it found out that 97% of the women aged from 18 to 24 have experienced sexual harassment in public places. More than 70% of the women of all ages. So, shit.
Next question.
Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's
Alright.
yeah. Hold on, wait.
So, all right, let me explain the study or whatever it was.
All right, go
I
ahead.
do remember that.
So the study itself was conducted in the UK, and it had between like 1,000. Well, it wasn't a study; it was a survey.
Survey.
So
yeah.
if you take statistics, you know the difference between a study and a survey or whatever situation may be. The way it was conducted is basically you asking people,
have
what was
you
this happen to you? What was your experience? And then it went all the way up from actual sexual assault, which is actually serious, to looking and glancing and catcalling. And that can get very
That's my
interesting?
interesting to itself. So it was 1,000 women between the ages of 18 and 24 in the UK. With everything that was everything.
So I think that we're more going to touch on
And 80% of them were cases of sexual assault, where 80% was cases of catcalling.
Okay. So I think we're gonna touch more on the facts of actual sexual assault, not the looking, not the glancing, because it happens a lot. But that I don't feel like that's really.
Sexual assault. That's
I mean,
more
I don't want to
harassment.
offend any. Yeah,
just
that's more
pure
harassment. But even then, if a boy is looking at you,
All right, as a
am I-
female, what do you? All right, we're gonna say each side. So as a female,
Oh, I got shit.
what do you count as like?
sexual assault.
Yeah,
Okay.
like is catcall like? Do you think catcalling?
It's sexual assault.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, like she said, it turns more into sexual harassment if you're continuously. I'm saying,
Yeah,
all right,
it's
Nah,
harassment.
yeah,
It's-
I'm listening.
it's-
Yeah,
It's harassment. It's I don't think anybody's assaulting anybody. It's you're harassing
because
somebody
I feel like
else.
assault is
but
when you're actually putting your hands on somebody or doing something.
Assault is when
Right.
you're like really. I don't want to use the word in the definition, but like you're assaulting someone in a way that they obviously don't want you to do it, but in a
So-
sexual manner.
Is it 97% sexual harassment or sexual assault?
I think it's
80% of them were
harassment.
like
Harassment.
sexual harassment,
Harassment.
and then
Yeah.
there was a percentage of them that were actually
It's
sexual
sexual
assault.
assault. So it's
That's
both.
my.
So it
like,
wasn't
how do
based
we
off of no
differentiate?
statistics.
Sexual
Like that, it was just a
harassment
survey.
goes like.
I mean, I know like how to.
Ask them.
You touching my butt, you slapping my butt.
That's-
I'm
Oh, that's
telling you to
sexual
chill.
assault.
That's assault.
Do you feel like that's sexual assault?
That's
Yeah,
sexual
that's
assault.
assault.
If somebody's like
Harassment is like
filling up on
yeah,
you
feeling-
and like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
physical.
assault.
Besides like the touching
But
part.
harassment is when someone's like texting you, like
Talking, just saying anything.
Yeah, like you walking down the street, somebody just catcalling. It's catcalling. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's when it plays into sexual
But
I have a
harassment.
question for you, ladies. Do you think that women are sexually harassed or assaulted more than men?
Yeah, it is.
What's the percentage?
Actually, I don't agree with that. I feel like go ahead, you can go first.
I take a sexual predators class, okay, and it
Wait,
says
they
it.
got that at Central?
Yeah,
Oh, you go to Central?
yeah.
All right, sorry.
Wow, you go to Central?
Yeah.
Hold on, yeah. What the freak was I saying?
You said you take a sexual.
Oh
predator
yes,
class.
yes. And every study that we talk about, in any case that we do, when it's pedophilia and like all of that plays, it's always that women are more like they're sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, raped, all that more than men. It's just a proven study in all aspects that women are harassed, basically
Okay.
more than men.
So
Do you
wait,
think-
wait.
I
Can I
agree
say
that they're
something now?
harassed and
Do you think it's
assaulted more.
because the men don't?
Don't say
But I also
anything.
do
Men
think
don't
that
say
it's-
I
anything.
do think that it definitely is more numbers of men. I think the numbers will be closer if more men reported.
It will.
So
Way
this is
closer,
the
but
thing.
women are definitely assaulted way more. But
I'm not gonna disagree.
No,
I
this
think
is the thing,
numbers will
though.
be closer. That's all I'm saying.
If men came forward, they
Yeah.
Can I
would.
say something though? I know people personally, men, that stuff has happened to them and they won't say it or they don't even realize that it's that.
Yeah.
So I feel like the numbers, I'm not gonna say women, I'm not gonna say it'll be more or less for either, but men, it does happen to men a lot more often than we think. Us as black people, we have this thing for boys, don't cry, don't say nothing, you keep your mouth shut. There's no feelings. There's
Toughen
really
up.
no feelings. So you can't eat
Toughen
toxic.
up.
Exactly that. You gotta be tough. So I feel like men, it does happen for men a lot.
They just gotta suck it up.
They just gotta suck it up. You can't cry about it. You go to your parents about it. It's more of a,
And
if
they
you go to your
also-
dad about that situation, he's
Never
gonna
do
look
that.
at it. He's gonna look at it as, why are you complaining about having sex or XYZ, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
I think a lot of, like you said, a lot of boys or men, whatever you want to call it, they are assaulted at higher numbers. And the way society has made it, though, that we don't even have the proper resources or proper asylums or whatever you want to call it to deal with that.
I've realized
out of
that.
all of the sexual abuse or domestic abused, I think houses or whatever you want to call them, there's only one in the entire United States that houses boys or men, and you have to be at the age of 13 they kick you out. So it's only one out of the entire United States. So I just think that we have created this narrative that men are like always destructive and this that we're toxic and this that and the third and kill all men or whatever situation. But we really
Y'all go through so
we
much.
go through a lot and we don't talk about it.
And then it bubbles up
It
inside
bubbles
of
up.
them, and then they just lash out. Instead of females, we're emotional, so automatically
And it's not
it
even
takes
just
a
that.
while
You're
for us
allowed
to say
be.
something.
You're allowed
We're
to be
allowed
emotional.
to be. We're allowed to be. So I'm not gonna say instantly because there's a lot of cases too that's unreported for women too.
Yeah.
But a woman is gonna talk about it before a man will because, like he said, we're allowed to. A man is gonna have to hold that in, and then
He's
once he
gonna
start,
feel embarrassed if he's
Embarrassed.
Especially if a woman,
Especially if a man was touched by another.
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
he
one-
would never
oh,
say
a
anything
man
about it.
definitely.
especially if
He's
like,
never say
and
nothing
then
about it.
women also feel comfortable like if their person like lashes up. I mean, if a person comes out right and they were sexually assaulted by the same person, then that's when they'll feel comfortable like, okay, she did it, so maybe I do it. If it was the same person,
yeah.
then it starts to like build up and stuff like that.
But go ahead. Sorry, I've been talking a lot.
With cases like that, like with like the Deshaun Watson, for example, like I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not a possibility that it happened because like
Kind of just bad timing.
it is
though.
just like in situations like
Wait,
that.
what case?
Yeah, what
So
case? I didn't
basically,
hear you.
So I'm gonna give background.
No.
Yeah, I'll give background. So basically, it was a football player. So he wanted to be traded from his team. Then like when he requested trade, teams were talking. Then all of a sudden, like when he told the team he wasn't coming back, a bunch of sexual harassments and assault cases is like every week it get older. Like,
About him
I think it's like 20,
that he was doing
right,
to
like,
women.
22
like
right now.
right now it's at 22. So like every week it go up. Like every
And
other
he's a
week.
black man.
Yeah.
He's a star athlete.
So basically, it's just bad timing because
And
it's
let's
like,
also give the context of the Houston.
all right, yeah, that's what I was about to. So basically, it's white. You're in tech. Basically, you're in Texas.
White
so
supremacy.
White supremacy. And then
It's
it's
all
a-
white.
The owner has said
Owner-
that, like, don't let the inmates run the what is it called, the jail or something like
So I
that.
know what you mean.
And
So-
then I think the person who's prosecuting him also is friends
Yeah.
with the owner of the Houston Texans. So it just
So it's a
all
whole bunch of
It
connections.
looks
Yeah.
all
So it
fishy.
just
It
look-
look real fishy.
So it's like in situations like that, it kind of makes me think like, how valid are these cases? Not to question.
Oh yeah,
not to say
that's
that
true.
like it's not a thing, like it can happen, or like he did do these things. But,
It's just crazy how when
There's-
you want to leave somewhere and then everything start.
Going
Like,
downhill because you're
yeah.
trying to leave. But let me say this though, there's in colleges, they always talk about how women, if you report a rape or a sexual assault, nothing gets done most of the time. But it's because sometimes there are women who will lie on someone saying that they did XYZ and it never happened. Now you just ruined his life. And then now when the next girl comes,
You make it tougher.
when the
for
next girl
so
comes,
question, right?
when the next girl comes and says that something happened to her,
All right, so question.
now nobody believes her.
With that being said, right? Do you think females should be
oh,
charged?
yeah.
For lying?
For sure.
Heck yeah.
Because why is it fair that you get to lie with somebody,
Ruin his
fuck up
whole
his whole-
career, his
like,
life.
everything he got going for himself because what? You
Off of a
decided to
lie?
live.
I
Off
just
of
don't.
a lie.
I just don't think y'all understand how much power y'all have as women.
Cause
Y'all serious speak about
I don't
feminism
think
and
y'all
this that.
understand how much power y'all
No,
have
no,
as
no,
men.
no, no.
I think
Go
it's
ahead.
debatable because like
No, I think like
with
women
a
have-
female it's 50. I think it's nah.
It's
not.
certain
Y'all have
instances.
a lot of power
That's
more
not
than
it.
y'all realize.
It's certain
we have a lot
instances.
of power. Yes, we do.
It
do a lot of
depends on
things
the
in
situation.
society.
I
but-
feel like it depends
but
on the
when you literally
situation.
have the ability to take away a man's livelihood,
You
based
have
on
the
Yeah.
ability to take my
accusation,
life.
Yes,
Mm.
but that's a personal thing. But societal wise, if you have the ability to just take my life away based off of words,
Then I'm
that's
labeled
way
as a
more
sex-
powerful
then
than
I'm-
me doing anything violently
Then
to
I'm
you.
labeled
Off
as
the
a
straight.
sex offender,
Even if
and I
it
didn't
come out
even
as wrong,
commit a crime.
I still have that stigma
I still got that
around me.
label on me.
Yeah.
What?
Because even
Lose
if
my
like,
job, lose college,
Yeah.
because
everything.
now,
You
because
never get
now
none of
when
that
like,
back.
I feel
Honestly,
like,
if you all did basically went on strike and did not have sex at all,
Mhm.
you know how many things that women could get done. Forget all the gay men, but like straight men, like you watched the movie Chirac.
yeah,
Mhm.
No, you know how they did that basically, how they
Yeah, they went on
protested,
strike, yeah.
went on strike. I don't think y'all understand how much power that women have, unfortunately, and it's through like sex. It's through your sex. I'm sorry to say, but
Because y'all
I don't-
generate the
because men are essentially weak.
Yeah.
They're weak. You guys know this though. Men are weak. So if you guys banded together and literally said we're not giving up our bodies until you guys learn how to respect us as a species, as a woman, as whatever you want to call it, y'all get so many things done.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Say that again.
What will we get done?
Whatever you want.
I get whatever
Literally
I want
whatever you
done
want.
now.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you do that
Cause-
personally
yeah,
yourself by
but
yourself,
That's personally, but if y'all,
but if
stay,
y'all,
if y'all
got
together,
together,
that's even black people in general. If we together,
but
Yeah.
black people, black
everything.
women,
Definitely
black,
that. Oh, we should have talked about that, but that's a whole nother
Yeah,
topic.
But yeah, that's true. But I'm saying y'all get so much together. Like,
No,
it'll be
I
crazy.
do agree with
Like,
the
have so
fact
much
that
So, vagina runs the world. That's what you're saying.
Yes, women run the world.
Okay.
It's a man's world, but it'll be nothing without a woman. James Brown said that.
Yeah, because y'all wouldn't be here without a woman either.
It'll be nothing.
Yeah.
It will be nothing.
Wait, you saying, okay, repeat that. Okay, I want to get this straight.
If
so I can
women
process
banded
it.
together and use their sexual prowess as basically a tool to get whatever they wanted done,
Like what?
it will get anything they
Anything.
wanted to be done will get done. Anything that they want to be
If
done.
they still together,
If
like
they stood together,
if they're on strike, like
It
as a
went-
whole
Everybody
gender,
said we not giving
We're
up
not doing
no
nothing.
as a whole
nothing.
gender, think about how
As a
crazy this
whole
world would be.
gender.
Like as males, like think about that. Like,
you know how
Bro.
men are. They're weak when it comes. Some men are.
What
a lot
would you
of,
do?
A lot of men are weak. It's
you
over.
gonna do whatever she telling you to
It's
do.
over.
means no
personally.
We know you not gonna do
Me
it.
personally, you're talking personally. I'm speaking about the masses.
But I'm thinking like even if, like how I think about it, like even if yes, okay, the way how I look at the world now,
Mhm.
and this is just my opinion how I look at for me things. I feel like yes, like you guys do have power, like for example, like for me, like pussy does, like it's very powerful. Like y'all have access to, y'all control sex for me. Like y'all determines if you gonna let for me your man's or for me like whoever you like or smash or not.
Yeah.
The way how I look at it though is like even if okay, let's play it like this for example. And I want
She watching you, fam. I'm just
No,
you
I
know
want-
how she get.
I want to go there though. I want to go there because I feel like there's also like an opposite spectrum to the argument in my opinion. Feel me? Like I feel like women, you guys, you benefit from a world that was built by men, and what I say by that is like you men, and this is like it sound like I'm being like so sexist and I'm being like this idea of patriarchy, but if we're gonna be honest, like patriarchy is the reason why the world operates in which it does. Like men have built civilization to a point where like it's very functionable, and like women, you guys benefit from a system that men have built. Like for example, if men were to disappear off this planet, like by tomorrow, like who will be able to run the power plants? Who will be able to do all these manly duties that men run?
Women will
I-
figure it out.
But by the time you guys have to figure it out, you guys would.
I'm pretty sure
start.
women already
No.
know how to do it
But
though.
I'm listen. What I'm saying is that by the time you get up to speed in learning how to do it, it'll probably be to a point where like you guys would start dying out. When I say that is that you can have the intelligence and do this, but you also have to have the physical strength in order to.
But if
operate
we
these
all
kind of
come
machines.
together, if a
I'm not-
whole-
I'm not-
The conversation is about.
But I'm not.
Listen, what you gotta understand. What I'm saying basically is that women have such a power within themselves that if they came together and
But
went on
I'm
strike,
not denying that.
but even with the civilization that you're speaking about, every single man that has built something has a strong woman right behind them. It would
Every-
not have pushed a lot of inventions.
it's
Would
not
not have
a
been
push.
created.
I
A lot
didn't-
of things would
I
not have
didn't
been
deny
created. Like, society itself probably would not have been created the way it is without women backing it. So yes, men did probably put the
I'm
Put
just
the
saying-
manpower
the
into it.
manpower
I'm
into
not.
it.
But I'm not
But
denying.
what I'm telling you is that they have more power than us. Yes, we built the infrastructures, we built the whatever situation, whatever you want to call it. But they really have more power than us just based on the fact of one small thing. They have vagina.
I'm not.
Like,
I didn't deny
if
any of that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. If they really banded together and said, no, we're not having sex with none of y'all until y'all get it straight, it's over. It's over. That's how much power they have as women.
That's not even an
That's
argument.
it.
That's facts.
that just goes. I mean,
That's
to me,
literally
how I look at it is like, how valuable do you think vagina is? Then that's
No,
my
bro.
question.
It's not even just like
it's
the
not
Bro,
even
all right,
vagina.
Would you
fam.
be able to go your whole life without having sex?
No, obviously,
therefore you value
but
it
it's
so
but
much
it's for,
then.
it's for pleasure though. It's not a
Okay, but-
necessity.
All right,
It's
but
for
if you
pleasure.
could not have sex for the rest of your life, how mad would you be?
You could always have. I'm not. Me
Your
personally,
hand ain't,
yeah.
your hand gonna get old, toys gonna get old.
Oh.
It's gonna get old.
Okay, duh, but I'm just saying that's
Okay, but
that's
I'm
just
asking
for
you
pleasure.
personally.
That's just for
I'm asking
pleasure.
you for personal, like personal.
But
How
vagina is
mad would
more
you be?
just for
How
pleasure.
mad would I-
Vagina, you know.
First of all, they can carry children. It's multiple things like
Yeah.
that.
I'm not
It
denying
is.
it, but I'm not denying it.
So if you could not have something
Obviously,
simple, how mad would
yes,
you be?
yes, men love to have sex. I love to have
So
sex.
therefore, that's how much power
Answer
they
the
have.
question, fam.
Would you be
He
able to
keep
do it?
answering
Would you be-
around it.
would
He
you be
keep
mad?
answering
I'd
around
be
it.
mad.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do
I
whatever she wants you to do.
You're gonna be
Eventually.
tired of it eventually.
Eventually.
Be mad, bro.
Would I be
You're gonna be
mad?
a
not gonna be
Bro,
able to
you
function.
live to like
Eventually.
60. We not getting no
You
cheeks.
gonna be
Would I bust a
aggravated.
nut?
No cheeks for 60 years,
Your
fam.
hand, just your hand, bro.
No
Your
cheeks for
hand.
I
60
just said
years.
obviously I like vagina. Bro.
So
Bro,
would you be
answer the
mad?
question. Yes or no, bro. Like, what's so hard
Would you
about
be
that?
mad?
I don't know. I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be like,
Alright, bro.
damn, I miss it.
Agitated.
Bro,
You'll be
I'd be like,
agitated.
damn, I
miss,
miss it.
you can't
Why?
miss something you never
Huh?
touched. You 60 years in without touching them, bro.
But I didn't touch vagina before.
No,
We're saying
I'm
if you
60.
didn't.
60 years
you
in,
never
zero,
did.
Oh, like
bro.
at the womb, I never touched.
None.
No, that's not a.
No,
that's not my-
because
that's
I
not
will
what
say
I'm saying.
something. Because
That's not what I'm
confused.
saying.
So now I'm confused on the question.
No.
Because if you never experienced it,
Then you'll
you-
never-
it's
yeah.
you don't
different.
care about
But if you
it.
experienced it and you know how good it can be, and you never got to experience it again.
Like, what if like you had sex one day
Not
and then the
even
next
just
day you
vagina,
would
a
never have
woman's
sex
touch.
again?
You would never be able to feel a woman's touch. Never be able to
Woman's-
hug her, kiss her,
Nothing.
nothing.
Nigga, I just said I
How would
like
you
that.
feel?
I just said I like
Okay,
that.
but how would you feel?
You're gonna be
I
aggravated.
just told you I wouldn't be. I'd be like, damn, I miss it. That's not me being.
But are you
mad.
gonna to get it back? Are you gonna do whatever they want you to do?
do whatever?
Honestly,
she wants me
all
to
right,
do?
ladies, whoever's messing with him, literally
Yeah,
cut him off.
please,
Cut him off and see how he functions. Do not. This
Why
is
y'all
the
gotta
Ron
do my
Bowen. Do
man
not have
like
sex with him. Do
that?
not touch him. Do not do
I
not
don't
for a good
think-
10 years. I want to see how happy you are.
And I want to see how long you gonna stick around.
I want to
Oh.
see.
I feel like y'all misconstrued my argument. I
People
just
really kill
said
themselves without-
I
because
like
they don't have
I like
Literally.
I just-
Literally.
Okay,
What
but
he's
that's not what
basically
he's
saying is yes.
asking.
He
He's
will.
basically saying yes, but he don't want to say yes.
He won't
Say
give y'all
yeah.
the win. It's
What?
okay.
I'm just asking you.
The answer to the
It's
question
okay.
is
Women
yes.
got more power than us.
Eventually, he's gonna get tired of it.
Preach.
Bro, I didn't deny that y'all have the like. Yes, I
Just
like.
let it. All right, we're gonna move. We need both.
That's what I was trying to say the whole time, and they wouldn't. Every time I started talking, they started ignoring
I
me.
agree with that, but
I
it's
feel
okay.
like when she says it's 50%, like it's literally even. It's just that our words can affect you more than your words can affect me. Not in the sense of like you calling me out my name, but I can ruin your whole life, but you can ruin my whole body. You can ruin my whole mindset by doing something to me. So that's why I feel like it's kind of the same.
Like
It's
I might
even.
could ruin your life by like lying and whatever, but like you could literally take my whole life just like off the sense of physically like
Yeah.
you
What about-
overpower me in every way.
Like
I agree,
stronger.
but what about the
Yeah.
white woman who literally got 10 black men executed because she lied about the raping, or Emmett Till, or
That's just
just
like-
Emmett
it's
Till,
all
the
stuff like that.
exonerated 5.
Or yeah, like,
So-
like one accusation could take out
Yeah, that's
mad
true.
people.
That is
Yeah.
true.
So
And that's what I was saying about college. What happens in college, they have this thing where they don't know what to believe because there's so many instances where people have lied about certain situations happening. And that's why
That's
I say,
a mental illness. Who just lies about stuff?
okay,
like
so
that?
with the exonerated 5 though, she was unconscious. She doesn't know who did it. It was the
They do
process.
that-
Yeah,
they
I
do
already know
in
that
general,
case.
Yeah,
though.
they do
that
that in
case,
general.
yeah,
But
that-
They always
just
do that.
because it's, let me just sum it up.
Mhm.
So just because it's just this is any case. If it's more than, this is any case like that where a female has been like raped. So basically they accuse whoever, if it's a black male or black males and like as a group, and it was near her, guilty by association.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
And
Most of the
anytime,
times.
if it's
Oh,
a
they
white
do their
man, if
research,
it's
they
a
just
white
say,
woman
yeah,
and a
you
black
over there.
man, more than
So
likely,
Yeah,
basically-
he's done. He's
It's-
done.
And then on top of that, this is where I say where I personally think that it should be a charge when a female is forced, and I feel like the officer should get fired if a female is forced to say. This is where I think it's underrated too, where the officer is forced of no
Or coerced,
don't-
correct.
yeah.
Coerced.
people to
So
say
they're
some-
they're
Yeah.
forcing a
Make a
female
statement.
to just say, he did this, then they were forced. They'd be like, yes.
And she already been.
But-
through
And then she already been through,
traumatic.
so she doesn't
So
even.
she just trying to get.
realize
She's
over
just
it.
trying to get
Yeah.
over it.
Trying to,
But parents
I
do
don't-
it too, though. Parents do it too.
Yeah, especially if
There's
they see us
been-
a black
What?
male or black
it
males.
happens a lot with parents saying,
Yo, a lot of
He-
white girls want to mess with you when you go to college because their daddy's not around.
yeah.
As soon as daddy come around, it becomes a different
Soon as
story.
daddy
Stay away
pull up
from
in
them
that
white
pickup
girls.
truck,
Yeah, stay
you
away
got
from
that
them
I know
white
y'all
girls.
watch Daddy's Little Girl.
Stay away from them white
Boy
girls.
got booked for nothing,
She
man.
You
was
got a
bad
Ford
with him.
F-150.
Stay away from them white girls.
Boy
Stay
got
away from
booked
the
for
white girls,
nothing.
man.
If you got a
It be your
Ford
own
F-150,
too
don't
sometimes,
even-
not even gonna
don't
lie,
even
it be
do it.
your own.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
What?
Be your own too
Oh,
sometimes.
you
I
saying
ain't
sometimes?
never heard that one.
Sometimes I said sometimes, not all the time.
Not all the time.
What do you mean by that?
It's rare.
Like,
What
it's
do you mean?
rare,
Like,
but,
sometimes-
some-
Black women love black men. Though.
Yeah, but
Whoa!
it's
Okay,
not.
okay,
It's
okay,
not.
okay.
It's not
Sometimes I
that.
don't
It's just.
I love black men.
It's
Okay,
just-
you love black
I
women.
love me a black
It's
man.
just- you
Y'all
can't.
love
But
black
it's
men.
it's not being
But there's a
like.
lot of black
yeah.
women going around hating black men.
Because
True.
y'all aggravating.
Wait.
So you went from we love black men to y'all activating.
Because I love y'all, I cherish y'all, but y'all aggravating.
So y'all-
Wait, let me say this though.
No.
Let me say this
Like,
though.
come on, bro.
Like, yes.
No, let me say this before
Like,
you
we
get
need
into that.
y'all, we need y'all.
So this
I
is
love
the
my
problem
black
with all situations
Cocoa butter.
where like, okay, black women are saying black men are aggravating or they hate them. White people are saying that black people are ignorant, they're scary, whatever the case may be. And it's because y'all present yourselves like that.
Oh.
Y'all present yourself, not y'all three, but
Some
y'all
black-
as black
Some
men.
black
Okay,
men.
elaborate.
So
What
what do you
Sounds like
consider?
what?
So what do you consider like when white?
Wait, hold on. I want to know what she's saying. What
Yeah, I
do
want you to
mean
know
by
more elaborate.
presenting
Like,
us
we
what?
present
What-
ourselves like
what-
that. Elaborate.
I'm not saying. I don't
So
think she's saying
people-
exactly. Yeah.
I don't.
No.
Okay,
As a
I'm
man-
gonna take it back.
no,
I'm gonna take
no,
it
I
back.
wanna hear
I'm gonna
it.
take it back for even just black men in general. Black people as a whole, we
There we
present
go.
ourselves as
Ignorant.
ignorant, and
I
then
like
once
that.
somebody
I
else
like how you
calls us
changed that,
ignorant,
okay.
once somebody else calls us ignorant, it's what? Why are you doing that? I don't act like that. Look at those girls that was in that lift. He told them to put on a mask. They started assaulting him. But then you're mad that people
They were
like
black.
that are calling us ignorant.
That's a small-
You're doing
That's a-
ignorant.
All right,
That's a
you,
small
you
percentage,
generalizing us black people. That's not. the
But
whole
like,
percentage.
it always
we
happens,
do have
though.
ignorant tendencies.
We
we
do.
do.
So does white people. It's white trash.
Yeah.
I didn't say that they didn't though.
But what you basically said was black people as a whole, kind of. You didn't nuance it and say it was a percentage. You basically said.
But-
You can't look at
Because-
small percentage.
See, the thing with black
Because-
people though
That's what white people gonna
is
do.
like
They gonna
they
see that small
expect us to already act like that. So
Yeah. So when
act
we
like
don't
that,
prove it, we don't prove them wrong. It's you know what? All of them are just like that.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
it's like
We
they already expecting us to act like that.
I
So
don't
when we
I didn't
already
say
going
white
out
people
acting
are
like that,
ignorant. White people are actually very ignorant
Yeah.
in my mind. In my mind.
I think all white people are racist.
Oh my god.
They
Not
all have
all.
racist they
Not
all have
all.
it,
I
they
think
all
they
have
all-
racist
they
tendencies.
They
They all
benefit.
benefit from.
Not all.
I should say
Systemic
They have
they
race-
benefit.
Not
Yes.
all.
They have racist
They all benefit
tendencies.
from-
No, they.
Not all.
They're all
They all
raised.
benefit.
No,
Listen,
they all benefit from
They're not
19
individual.
1960?
I think what you confusing is individual racism and systemic racism. They
Yeah.
all benefit from the
But
system. put
some,
in place.
but that
They not
depends on
all.
all. That depends
That's what I
on
meant.
all. Not I wouldn't say offspring, but that's depends on everything. Is depends on how you're raised.
How you're raised. That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
gonna
Because
say.
the way how-
Individual-
Because the way
yeah,
how I
yeah,
see it,
I
if
agree.
you're raised in a background where you can't like, let's bring up. We're gonna bring up just Michael Jordan for example. When he was young, his teammates like he was on a baseball team with white teammates. So basically, when there was time when they won like a championship, or whatever, I might be wrong. When they won a championship together and they were celebrating, all the white parents was just like, we're not hanging around that. So basically, I feel like it depends on how you're raised. Because if you're built to hate black people, you're gonna hate black people.
True.
But I'm not saying you could always overcome that. Like you
True.
could hang around like black people and then realize like, oh, what I was being raised to do is not, you guys
It's
are
not
not
true.
even like
Yeah.
that. So I feel like at the end of the day, that's both though, because I feel like
We
but
have
us-
racist tendencies
But I feel like
too.
we have racist tendencies too. But I feel also that
They
if-
prove that
if
to us
they,
though.
They prove that, but then again, personally, we don't really worry about them as much as they worry about us.
True.
Wait.
'Cause at the end of the day, we try to avoid like confrontations and like racial situations. And with them, it's kind of weird.
It's
They're
like-
very
Yeah.
entitled.
Yeah,
They're
Yes.
very
And then
entitled.
when like we surprise them, they catch it like it's like everything is off guard. Like, oh, I thought you guys act like this, or you guys
Yep.
don't act like that, or
Yep.
you guys are not like this, or you guys aren't loud. And then when they realize, like, when they actually sit down
I'm
and
loud.
talk to us, they'll realize
I'm
like,
loud.
oh, every like view of like how we're like being viewed. Because right now, only thing they could actually view us off is the music that
And social media.
the music and social media. They can't really they can't heart to heart with every African American
But I
male
think
or
that's
female. So the music, right? The music and social media is really the only two real like key components that you think about it, where white people or Caucasian or any other like above us can actually view us as. Because if you think about it, if our music is talking about ghetto this,
Yep.
trenches that, drug this, drug
Kill
that,
this person,
kill
that.
this person, kill this person, that. That's how they're gonna view us.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's just like, and that's just
That's
listening.
the big picture
And
of
then
us.
when you see not to generate like females otherwise, when you see a music video with a female and then they're twerking or they're talking about
That's
scamming
true.
this,
I wanna
whatever
learn
they
how
be
to-
talking about, I'm not gonna get into that. But that's just how they're gonna look at us. Cause even when I went to PWI, I'm talking to them and then they be like, "Oh, I didn't know about this and that." So like, then they ask questions like, "How is it growing up this and that?" So it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like it's
He been
the
trying to
social
talk for a
the
minute.
social media is how the social media and music is only how like they could really perceive us if they really don't talk to us. Cause I'm gonna be honest, some white people really don't even want to talk because they're scared. Just
Yeah.
in general, like
I'm scared of
they're
them.
they're scared, but they don't even know like
Definitely.
we're scared of them. Just like any conversation with them, you could like white people in general, like if we have a conversation and something go left, like you control our life because you're above us. So say just in general we're conversating or whatever, and then you say something to the police are automatically gonna come at me. I'm gonna be
Right.
in handcuffs.
But
So
they don't realize
it's-
how
They
much
don't
scared
know-
we
they
are
don't
of
know How
them.
scared we are of them, but they just think we're like
We're just gonna
we're
beat
just
them
gonna,
up, kill
like,
them.
It's weird. But you could go now.
But the reason, I mean, if we're gonna put things to a broad perspective, the reason why we still continue to do that because that's what puts money in our pockets.
What you mean?
The reason why we still rap about killing each other.
Yeah, but I'm not
Still-
saying that's wrong. I'm just saying
That's how they. That's why they
like
perceive us the way they do.
if we just like if we was them, right? If we was like, I know it's hard, but if we was them and you listen to and you just hear the music part and then all that, that's just like how they're gonna view us. I'm not saying that is a good thing. That's just an assumption. It's like,
But I'm not advocating that we continuously rap about ignorance.
nah, I get that. It's
Yeah.
like you gotta do what you gotta do to put
Yeah.
bread in your pockets. But I'm just saying that's the only thing they could like use as
That's what they go based
leverage,
off.
like based off. Because even like we're gonna use this in general. Like even when you hear about cases, they automatically go to the songs. Like they go to like he was doing this. Like even if it's like a white police officer and a black man that's getting
Killed a
killed,
black man.
they'll always try
To
to
his
do a
social
background
media.
check to social media, like
Yeah.
find something old as ever, just to say he was in gang violence or he was in something like he wasn't
They
supposed
find an
to be
old
doing.
Facebook picture
Like
of him
something
in like
so old, but I'm just
With a
saying.
bandana wrapped around his neck.
It's
wrapped
weird.
around
It's just I'm just saying it's something I think is bad because at the end of the day, you're using something that you don't even know about. Because if you actually sit down and talk with somebody, you'll realize that the assumption that you have is completely wrong.
Yeah, that's why they say don't read a
feel
book
like-
by its cover.
And the reason why I say is that for me,
Oh, judge a book by its cover.
we give those kinds of musicians and these influencers that energy, so that's why they continuously make that kind of
'Cause we
music
act
and
like we
continuously
relate.
put out this image. So if we want to really start changing that,
Stop
why don't we
listening to
start
it.
supporting the people who talk about real stuff, who talk about educating us, who talk about giving us platforms that can
But
build us
nobody
up.
want to hear
But that's what I'm
songs
saying.
like
That's
that.
like
That's
when
the
people
Like I'm
that's
going
like
to a party.
people-
I don't want to hear about like
That's-
Black
that's-
Lives Matter. No offense, Black
that's
Lives
the-
do matter.
That's
But
the-
So
that's
then
the
we
point.
can't complain about.
Nah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying because
He's
it's
just saying
like
that's how the
that's how
why they
it's
perceive us the way they
viewed.
do.
Because
No,
like
I'm not-
even
I'm not-
even
I
in
agree with you,
general,
I agree with you.
because it's like people can't listen. Like if you think about it, people don't have the mental capacity to listen to J. Cole and Kendrick for like a long time because they're not going to understand what they're talking
Yeah.
about.
Most
But
people
if
don't wanna hear
you,
it.
but that's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that
say.
is
So
true.
if you put on like we're gonna say G Herbo, like all the known rappers, they're gonna they're not gonna understand, but they're about to listen to that. They actually listen because
something
we're
that's
gonna
fundamental.
use Little Baby's
The bigger picture.
yeah, we're gonna use that, right? So when he dropped that, it blew up. But nobody not knowing that J. Cole was talking about that since 2014 on
And
Forest Hill
Kendrick
Drive.
too.
And Kendrick. So
but
that's
it was just because it's little baby and
But my
they don't
thing
know
is
what
that-
he about to talk
exactly
Why
that's
do
my
we-
point.
why do
They
we-
do everything off popularity. That's how I see it too.
Why
though.
do we continuously feed ignorance? That's my question.
Well, I just think it's basic. It's a system. You look at these record labels, you look at these execs. They're not black.
That's how they profit off. The white
They're
people profit
white.
off of us being ignorant.
They control.
That's true.
They control kind of an agenda. These execs. So when you become a new artist, you don't even sometimes have control of what you can do.
Of the whole contract, bro.
Sometimes they control your image. So therefore, they want you to push this agenda out. And like I said, these execs, these record label owners, they're not black. They're white, for the most part.
They're white men that don't even know nothing about.
So
music.
therefore, they're gonna push sex sell, and most
Never
of the time
probably
we're
heard
gonna
a
see
record
our
in their
black
life.
women twerking and shaking their ass.
Because that's what sells.
Because
That
that's
is
what
what
sells.
sells.
Sex
and
sells.
that also is gonna make our communities look bad. You see,
Exactly.
they don't have white women for the most part doing that. When they're artists, when you don't see Billie Eilish twerking and shit, you don't see Taylor Swift
Twerking.
demeaning herself.
Swift,
You
fire.
don't see stuff like
I
that.
love her music.
You don't
We
see.
sidebar because they don't want their communities to be portrayed like that. You're not gonna see who. Give me another white artist.
Kelly Clarkson.
A white male artist. Give me a white male artist.
Male artist.
Sam Smith.
Give me Sam Smith. You're not gonna see him talking about killing people or whatever situation may be because it's an agenda.
Imagine.
Of course, our music is gonna be polluted
Imagine.
and diluted and making it look like a certain type of way. It's been like that since the '90s, since the '80s actually. Everything connects back to the crack epidemic. Once you start losing fathers,
Oh,
That is
let's not
deep.
even get.
That is
once you
deep.
start losing fathers and
Once you start losing black leaders.
once you
I
start
should
losing
say,
stuff
that's when-
like that. But no, we could lose our black leaders because once black leaders have fell, more have come. So that
True.
it doesn't stop anything. But once the '80s hit, the whole infrastructure of the black community died down. So that's why it went from everything that was pure. It went from breakdancing to selling drugs. It went from disco to rapping about selling cocaine and selling crack and this, that, and the third.
You know, it's crazy.
So everything that went pure went crazy, and then we have
And the
it
same
connects
drugs
back.
That they doping the kids up who have like these mental disorders. The same thing that they lock their fathers up for.
To touch back on what you said about the executives being white and they're pushing this, it's all a controlling thing. Like you said, well, like I was gonna say, we as black people have been controlled for so long since we could date back to. So with that being said, they like to push this narrative about us. And then some of the rappers really do be living this life still to this day, and then they get arrested.
Yeah, but that's the point too, though. So you're rapping about like
What you're really doing, you're
what
snitching on
what
yourself.
You're really doing.
Why you rapping about?
But what I was gonna say is, us as black, we don't even I don't think the rappers even realize that they're not helping their community. They're not helping people be better. We're actually pushing us back to the way it was.
It's debatable because I feel like with rap, yeah, that's just rap in general. But I feel like it's hard because, like what I said, they gotta put money in their pocket. So if that
True,
sells,
if that sells, that's what it is. But
Drugs,
And
money,
that's what's
yeah,
sex, it
if
sells.
that sells,
And
it's
that's
hard.
That's called selling out, though.
Yeah, it's
So,
selling out too because
basically,
at a certain extent,
Make that
because
back check, though.
at
You
a certain
know
extent,
You
yeah,
don't
that
care
too.
about nothing
all
else.
It's-
money ain't good money.
All money not good
No,
money, but
money
then
is
at the
good
end of the
money.
day, this where stuff start to get a little shaky because it's like, are you gonna sacrifice you making that check just to rap about stuff that nobody not gonna care about? Cause then it's like people want music they could relate to. So if you listen to G Herbo, like sometimes like 9 times out of 10 you
you could relate
you
to
could
him
relate.
being in the inner
It
city.
it depends. Like, so I feel like certain music you could relate to. So if that sells, then you got to do it. But I'm not saying that it's good because at the end of the day, that's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the social
Yeah,
medias,
I agree.
and then we're getting viewed as this, and then white people are listening to our music. Then they actually like meet us, talk to us. They be like, "Oh, so you're not doing this, you're not doing
Not
that."
gang banging.
I also, I also
Like-
think
What
there's
do
a
you
difference
mean?
between a rapper telling a story about or depicting what the inner city is like and using his music to really speak about how detrimental and how dangerous it is, and then just being ignorant. I think there's two different. I
Yeah,
think-
it's actually 3 because you could actually your rap
think
like
there's
9
different-
times out of 10 you're either rapping like how you came to where you at now, or you're rapping about
Or the
what's-
shit you went through.
or the stuff you went through,
where
or
you
you
at
just
now.
rapping where you at now and like how both them stages like affect you currently. Like,
Yeah.
Why do we glorify struggle? That's my question.
bro, if it's set like I'm not saying that it
Because we
sells.
all got to struggle.
Everybody has
I
a
don't
struggle,
think we, I
but
don't think
if
we
it
glorify
sells,
it.
it
I think it's
sells.
people just resonate
Yeah.
with it.
Because
what they
we
feel.
just
No,
relate to
I'm
it
not-
so
But
much.
there's a large group of people
It's
that
supposed to be cool to be in the
Yeah,
trenches
like, I
now.
understand
Well,
that,
then-
Yeah,
but
that
it's
is
not
weird.
from-
Yo, let me. Yo. Oh.
Like it's like I know people
Dude.
people be like from like in today like people be from Hamden and claim
Like,
they
bro,
from
you're
the
not
Ville,
from the
bro.
Ville, fam. Nah, my
Yo,
fault. My fault. That shit got me tight.
chill.
Like, why do
Bro,
What's
you not
going
from the
on?
Ville, fam.
They be having their moms and their fathers and they
bro.
life going crazy,
You don't-
making
you
it
don't-
work for
like,
them, and they
bro.
saying they gotta get it out the mud.
It's
Really?
not nothing wrong
Really?
with that, bro.
There's nothing wrong with having supportive parents.
It's nothing wrong with it, but don't be sitting here acting like
And
you
like
had
you
it.
like, don't act like you really got it out the mud.
I don't
bro.
know why
If you
that's
got-
cool.
If you got
That's
two,
cool.
if
To
you
make you
got
look too cool, you
if
cool
you got a
fine,
stable
like,
home,
bro,
like,
you
bro,
you
that's-
cool
yeah.
regardless.
If you got mom, you know she got a good job, pops around. For me, you
That's
got a good
cool. That's
family,
cool. That's how
y'all
it's
eat dinner
supposed
at
to
the dining
be.
table, at the dining area every night. Y'all have family conversation, my nigga. Stay in your lane, man. Right for me, like, and people who actually got a struggle, bro, and trying to get out the mud, let them.
So
For me,
let me say this. Me and my sweet mate, we actually talk about this all the time. How there's people that are really out the mud
Alright.
and they really hate being from the trenches. And then there's the people that talk so much about it. That's how you know they're not really doing what they saying.
real hood niggas don't even glorify.
Bro, I'm
Nah,
glad
because
because-
niggas don't
'cause
want to
you
be
could-
doing that.
Especially when you go to school, bro. You could tell who really like that.
Who really like
Because
that?
if you like if you
Whoever
if
talked the most.
whoever
Yeah,
talked the
stop.
most, bro, we already know you, fam.
Me.
All right,
Oh,
do you want
we
to finish the
already
last
know you, fam.
question? Because we done went. We were supposed to be going this way. We went left.
I think we talked about everything.
Well, we
You got
kind of
three.
touched based on this about how men don't open up because of the whole masculine toxins, and
masculinity.
toxin, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. And women don't open up because, like I said, there's a chance that
We might
somebody
not be.
before you lied and now they're not gonna believe you, or it's a lot of cases are kids, like little girls getting assaulted, and they're getting told, oh, if you tell, you're gonna get in trouble. So I feel like that's another reason why females don't open up,
Especially in the black community, I feel like black women.
or it's gonna get pushed under the
I
rug.
feel like a lot of
Swept right
families try to
under the rug.
protect the abuser and the abused. But no, actually try to check.
They try to keep it in
They
the
try to
family.
protect the
Try to keep it in.
abuser. They try to keep it in family, and that actually hurts the situation way more.
Mhm. Because how are you gonna put me in a situation around to still be around somebody that
Yeah.
did something to me just because you don't want him to get in trouble? He shouldn't have did it to begin with.
Exactly.
So,
Or you blame the girl calling her grown and this, that, and the
oh,
third.
you
At the
shouldn't have
end
been
of the day,
walking around with
she was
shorts
a, she was
on.
a child. You cannot call a child grown.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's
You
a grown ass
cannot.
man. You
yeah.
cannot.
You can't justify a
Grown-ass
grown man
grown-ass
finding
woman,
any
whatever,
type of
like,
pleasure.
Situation may be, you're not gonna call a kid grown. Why are you excusing their behavior?
They find any
just because you-
excuse.
Why are you blaming? Yeah, I don't never understand.
I don't
That's
like
another
that.
reason why women don't come forward, because more than likely
They're gonna get
blamed.
blamed. Yeah, we did get a
Thanks
little
for
too deep.
watching the 411 podcast. My name is Anaj Jones, and you can subscribe on YouTube at 411 podcast or follow on Instagram at 411.podcast. Thanks for watching.